What an intro. Look at this. I made it to a boss. See, we're at like zone 306 here. So this is pretty high. This is where the game starts getting interesting. So I've got this build. I'll show you after I ascend. I'll make another video on that where I have all of my artifacts shown, but this is my build for now. I'm basically trying to do a chainsaw to get forward. Now, here, I know it's the most popular build, and that's mostly because I'm pretty high up and people are trying to copy it to try to get there. And I respect other people like 8Z, for example, or like CERN, or there's some other guys here. Let's take a look at all these guys here. Dombeek, he's pretty good. Spexin, Pez, of course. There's a few others, CERN and 8Z. So they're all trying to make their own builds, which I really respect. And so I sort of made this build, and I'm not saying it's the best build at all, okay? I'm just saying this is the build I made, and everyone seems to be copying it and saying it's the best for some reason, which it isn't. It's not the best. There are plenty of ways to get far in the game. But this is how far I made it with this particular person that I started making. Um, so I started off with katanas, and I made a fully offensive build, and then I saw the chainsaw came out. And the chainsaw is a good weapon. I'll tell you why I really liked it, is because it strikes 4 times and it has a very high crit. See, there's a crit plus 48. Oh, let me increase the quality. I got it at low quality because there we go. Sorry. There we go. Um, yeah, it's running in the background, so I have it at low quality. So I have it set to pause on boss. I'm going to set it to pause every turn. We're going to advance. So the chainsaw, let's start playing. So here, you put fear on me. The chainsaw I like because it has a very high chance to crit, but it's got no crit on it. 1 damage. 1 damage, the crit won't do anything. And you'll get basically a nice 195 physical damage or whatever. And a nice fear proc. The fear proc's actually really nice. But that's all you get from that. So it's pretty useless. Like, you don't do a lot of damage with it. Well, what you got to realize is you can take some magic explosive beads, and on a crit, which you have a high chance to do anyways, you get a huge magic damage. And I got 3 of those. I got potions in order to keep my sustain up, and I got this to help me. Helps for a little few things. Strength won't help. MPOW won't help. Initiative will help a little bit. MP will help, hit points will help, block will help, and hit will definitely help. And I didn't mention drink or grenade. Grenade won't help me, but drink will help. Drink is very useful. It'll heal a lot, and this is one of the only sources of drink you can have. So that's why I want to keep this Shadow King statue around. But other than that, I've got these 3 damage ones. I'm going to go into my skills here and just show what I got going. I got only defensive skills. And so that's what this build lets you do. You don't need to max strength. You don't need to max any damage skills. You can only max defensive skills and the build will be decent. All right. Now, you're not going to do the most damage by far out of any build. You're not. But because of the fact I've got this Kabuto, and like there's a 70 strength on the Kabuto, I realize is wasted. It was used a lot better when I was using it with my katanas. I had my katana build. It does a lot more damage, but it's not as sustainable. It's not as it was sustainable. It was quite actually sustainable, but it wasn't as defensive. This is more defensive. So uh so that strength is wasted, and the sacrifice is nice because you're only procking that off of your 1 damage. You're not really doing damage yourself, but those procs can proc over here in the scientist tree. You can proc Iron Gut, which lets you drink. So if you're damaged at all, and for some reason your idiot guy didn't use a potion to heal you, well, you're gonna proc. You have a good chance to proc a heal. So I got mostly all defensive skills. You see here, this item is for my heal, to increase my heal. This also here, by the way, is to increase the heal. So my heal is really high. I got a little bit of extra crit, hit to hit, and crit's not useful, but the to hit was a little bit extra, and I'm still hard to hit, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to outlast everything. So you can see in my stats, I've got some pretty high stats because I was able to go full defensive. So I'm going to continue here and just go attack, and that's why this build is nice. All right. And now, what sometimes I can do is if I see I'm about to die and I'm low, I'll throw this death gesture on, or if I see the damage is way too risky. See, this bar is going down slowly so far. It's not really going down by a lot. This guy here is called Beezle Puff. So Beezle Puff doesn't really do that much damage to me at this point in the game. He's really more for an anti-mage. So my battle will just take a long time. But some other people are actually challenging, and you actually have to do well against them. But yeah, he's got me CC'd. Yeah. Now this is when I start to come into problems, so I'm going to use a potion. There you go. that's my strategy here because he's not really going to do huge amount of damage to me. He can't get like a surprise crit. He's got constant damage, and I see what the damage is at, so I don't need to switch out to my Death Jester. It's actually way better, more beneficial to have my Kabuto on for this part then. But if I'm fighting someone who's gonna, I might as well. If I'm fighting someone who could kill me in one shot, I'm going to definitely throw on the Death Jester because it'll allow for a lot more risk to be taken. There, that Phoenix proc came off and it let me move. That's the one thing I need for my fear thing. God, these tooltips are really in the way. I think in this mode, these tooltips should just be off. You can't see tooltips. Like, or there should be a toolbit tip disable button somewhere because this is getting weird. Right. Gotta watch my health there. There, I died. See? I wasn't watching my health. So that's my first death. I'll just let it idle right back up. But you see these battles here are a little bit more challenging. So last, I didn't level my guy up. I didn't spend any of my souls. Okay, I'll take this off. Return off. Pause on boss is on. So I can make it to the boss on my own. So I'll just let him go for a while and make it to the boss. So you see, I wasn't watching my health there. I had no excuse. It's a turn game. You know, there's no excuse. I should have seen my health was low. There's no excuse for that. But I just wanted to show that you can die to it, and that's something that an idle character would do. He could just forget to do it. It's also it's a risk because if I do actually hit him with this, I could also heal myself because of that Kabuto and healing thing. But it's a risk that I took to. If you want to, you can take that risk, but I shouldn't have taken it. It would have been way more safe, and I would have won the battle if I would have used a healing potion. So that was just me not paying attention and trying to make a video. But what you will see is enemies up at this level get pretty hard. So that's basically what I wanted to show, and that's basically how you're going to try to contact them. So last time I made it to 320-ish. Let's see my score. High scores. Furthest area reached. So this guy's a hacker, this guy's a hacker, this guy's a hacker, this guy's a hacker. 8Z is not a hacker, and he beat me. So I was beating him. I made it to 320. I was beating both of these guys, actually, and they both passed me. 8Z and Dombeek. And they're very good people, and they're using different builds. I just have to say that, okay? So don't think that it's the build that's doing it. You know, be creative. That's what this game is about. Shinigami is kind of using the same build as 8Z, but he's doing his own thing too. So he's very respectful in that regards, and he's making it far. You see, you can make another build. You don't have to copy my exact build, okay? So, and that's what's fun about the game. So just because my build was the most popular, see, it was the furthest, well, now other people beat me. You see that? And I'll tell you the reason they beat me is because I didn't take any artifacts last turn. Decided to go 2 turns, last turn and this turn, where I'll be able to buy my 5th slot. And these guys don't have their 5th slot yet, so that's really what's going to happen. I'm going to get my 5th slot, and I'm going to go way further than the next time. But they could go way further than me. It's just all about time. We're just basically racing. But in the end, we're both going to cap out our artifacts, and we're just going to be able to get as far as our build will allow us to take it. So really, that's what's going to end up happening in endgame for us, and we're going to go as far as we possibly can. We'll compete on that way. But I mean, it's not a competition. If you can make it this far, if you're able to cap out, you don't need that many more souls, right? You need a few more souls to unlock other characters and make other characters and other builds and have fun with the game. But you know, at that point in the game, you're just, you know, leveling up other skills and other artifacts. So it's not really a competition. But yeah, if you get really far, you'll get way more souls. So you can see right now, I'll go back to town and just see how many I'm about to get. And like right now, I'm at a relatively high level compared to everyone else, but maybe by the time you see this video, all these guys down here that are actually legitimate people are going to catch up, and they're going to be around this level, and we might be further, we might be the same. I don't know. But it's not, don't copy builds. Like, have fun, make your own build. That's part of the fun. So here I've got 22,000. So last time I got almost 30. So I'll be able to buy my 5th slot, which is right here. So these are the ones I have. I've got that Phoenix Will. It's very useful. It gets me to act while I'm being feared, and the fear is just ridiculous at higher levels. So it's really important. Valkyrie is health from armor, which is very important even for lower armors, but like this is a high health armor, so it makes it a little bit better. I mean, it's not the highest health armor in the game, so I'm not getting the most possible benefit I can, but I'm getting a huge benefit. It's putting my health pretty high. I can go back and check what my health is. I've got a healing Gaia's Fountain. So these are presumably, from what the chat has said, some of the cheaters were able to get theirs up to 10. So, and that was the maximum. So I've got a little bit more to get them up. They're all 8s and 7s, but I really want to unlock this. I think that's the next move I should do. Um, so the heal really helps with my potion build. It lets me heal up pretty high, and I'm really defensive, and you saw how long it takes for me to go down. So it's really important to me for me to have that one turn heal that I need when I need it. And so that's why the heal is there. And that's why I put up all my items on there, and that's why I put up my potion there, because like that was really important, and that I got in my dual katanas build too. Because it's just a very fundamental thing to have on any build. And then some physical resistance. I'm not certain about this one yet. I might change it out, or I don't know. But these three are basically fundamental. You need those three for this build. I don't know about other builds. I didn't try them, but for this build, I feel like I need these three. But this one I'm not sure about yet. I'm gonna maybe try to take it out and see if I can throw in something better. But definitely it's helping. And this one is gonna help too. I don't know what it's gonna be. I might even throw a damage on there because going up's a little slow here for this character, so I might throw an extra damage thing on here because so far it's all been defense. Um, so that's him. I'm just gonna take a look quick at my health, show you guys. Yeah, 22,400 at the moment, which is nice. It's decent. It's good survivability. So that's basically with a heavy helmet. That's the kind of stuff you want to go for. That's it. So that's how you pause and enjoy. I hope you get up to this level because it's fun when you have to push forward and actually have to do something, have to be active in an idle game. All right. So like up until this time, it's mostly idle. So here you actually have to start to be active.